What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. And was not our nation founded on the principles of God? Like on the building blocks was basically faith in God, trusting in Jesus Christ, trusting in God. That's what we have. In God we trust on our dollar bill. That's why we put our hand on the Bible and swear an oath, even though we're not supposed to swear upon anything, as the Bible teaches, which goes to show you how backwards this society is. But I want to make an interesting episode today, just talking about board games. What can board games of society tell us about reality? So, as I talk about on our channel, this society, this whole realm, this whole matrix is controlled by a select few, and these elites use symbols to pretty much broadcast and who their master is. So basically, we see that the Vatican, they have this snake hall and this throne room where the Pope sits like a king. But who's the only king? God, through Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the only king. He's the true king. And anyway, we go back here, we see snakes, the ladders here. So we got snakes, and we got the ladders of Freemasonry in the black and white. So I'm just pointing out things. We can see our medical system, how this symbol represents Hermes, I think, the staff of Hermes. And we can see how our medical system they're swearing oaths and worshipping pagan Greek gods. That's completely against God, right? But when we look through society's board games, we can see that it's kind of promoting a lot of things and pretty much teaching truth in plain sight. We see here the black and white. Here we see, promoting of humanism, being superheroes, all powerful. Man is all powerful. Magic, talisman, interesting. But this whole society is basically a game. Life is a game. And basically, we're playing a giant game of snakes and ladders. And we're trying to get up higher and higher. But these snakes that are around us, every level we go higher, there's always a new level of snakes, you know what I mean, that we have to watch out for. But we can see that life is just a huge game. The more that you try to chase things, the more that they slip through your fingers. It's only when life breaks you down, you realize that you have to go through the Freemasons or through secret societies or join these cults, join the pyramid scheme at your work to start, right? But basically, life is a game, and you will fail unless you join them or unless you join God. This is basically what it is about. And even the game of chess, it's so interesting. I was actually thinking, where did this game of chess come from? This game is actually pretty much teaching the ancient philosophies. This chess game is actually teaching the elite's beliefs. So remember how I told you that you have two choices in reality. There's like a fake teaching that society superimposes on youth when they're growing up, that there is no God and that it's just like an atheistic kind of nihilistic life is pointless, just try to live the best you can type thinking, like existentialism, but existentialist type thinking. But basically it's all guys, because you have two choices, because the elites know there's a God. But basically you have the biblical narrative where, well, let's just talk about the elites first. So they believe that you can either have infinite cycles of birth, life, death, and reincarnation, and that everything and everyone and every animal and every plant and every rock and everything in the universe is God, is a piece of God. So that actually ties into, I can't remember the belief, but it's a belief that even rocks and stuff like trees and have spirits, so that ties into that. But basically you have this belief that everything is just a cycle of infinite life, that infinite cycle, and that man is stuck in a loop, and that God is just he's just selfishly experiencing everything, and that we want to break that chain, and that God is dualistic, a God of above and a God of below, a God of order and perfection and a God of chaos and freedom, you know what I mean? So it's like they want to blend both of them to destroy this realm, but there's the other belief where you believe in God from the Bible created everything just like He said in His Word, and that man started out advanced but is degenerating, where they teach the opposite, because this is satanic system teaches the reverse of what the Bible teaches. Everything that God teaches, they teach the opposite. If they say man was primitive. If God says man was advanced, then man is primitive. If they say the age of the earth, if God says the age of the earth is young, then they'll say the age of the earth is old, right? Just whatever it is. So basically, the truth is that there's God and a beginning of time and an end of time, and that we have to choose to either be good or evil, right? And this game is pretty much teaching the elite's philosophy of a never-ending battle of good and evil, that both good and evil are two sides of the same coin, and then at the end of the battle, it just resets. So it's like this is actually teaching. And that's interesting that this game came from India, which was there was an earlier chess game, I just searched it up, it's pretty much the same thing, it's very similar, but Chaturanga, that came from India. And then also ancient Hinduism, which came from, of course, India, ancient India. And then Buddhism came from that. So all this stuff is tied to Satan, the teachings from the Garden of Eden, that the devil tried to trick everyone. But basically, you guys need to get a clue. So this is pretty much telling you that there's a select few of elites, even he's putting his hand in the pyramid here, that they are laughing at you because they know what you don't. So that basically that the world was taken over and monopolized. That there was a huge monopoly of the world long time ago, hundreds of years ago. So this pyramid scheme of families, of the Rothschilds, that they basically took over like the whole system, right? And then they set up, they pretty much took it over and set up the system. It's funny that I was searching for images of the family, and there's this image here. And that it's funny, he was posted by the account Illuminati Bot. Oh, that's so interesting, right? So this, it looks like it's AI, and even they said it could be AI, but I wouldn't even be surprised if this was real, and this was like, just like put it out, edited, like touched up and put it out just to troll us, to show the truth in our face. Because I do think these entities are real, like I do think the devil's real and stuff, but it could just be, a AI, right, generated. But it's just interesting that the connection to this guy, Illuminati Bot. It's just the system is trolling, right? Truth seekers. But yeah, basically they took the risk and they took over this whole like realm a long time ago, and then they created our whole system to keep us in a mental matrix and to lead you guys away from God, using all their media, all their games, all their video games, movies, books, literature, music, influencers, social media, social media influence and such like that. They always want you to be in trouble. And if you listen to what the mainstream says, you're going to be very sorry. Okay, guys, God bless you and your families. Peace.